Hello. Um, yeah. So GCSEs are coming up, and you want to know how you can get those cool 6s and 4s, right? Ha 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 ha. Okay, no, but in all seriousness, okay, so exams are coming up, and you want to know how you can do as well as you can possibly do, right? You know, you want to do well so you can go on to make the big bucks, do the real A levels, not crap like RS and sociology and all that bullshit. Um, so yeah, I've put a lot of time and effort into constructing this basically tips video. As you can see, I've outlined a few topics that I'm going to go over today on how you can maximize your chances on basically getting good grades at GCSE. Okay, so um uh okay, so basically what you're gonna want to do, the first thing is it's really essential that you start revising early. So what I would recommend, leave plenty of time. You're gonna leave plenty of time. You're gonna want Okay, so start revising early. You're gonna want to leave plenty of time between start revising early. You're gonna want to leave plenty of time between your exam and when you start revising, so you have loads of time to cover each topic really thoroughly and get a really good grasp of it for your exam to get those good grades. Okay, so I would recommend revising at least. I would recommend revising at least 2 to 3. Okay, so I would recommend revising at least 2 to 3 days before. I would recommend revising at least 2 to 3 days before the exam, so you can really cover all the topics in great depth and go over them multiple times. I've actually crunched the numbers here. There's 280 topics in science, or combined science higher tier, right? AQA. Now, if we crunch the numbers here, 280 divided by 14 days, that's only 20 topics a day, right? 20 topics a day. 20 hours of revision, an hour in each topic, 20 hours a day of revision. Plenty of time there. Plenty of time. And I know what you're thinking, alright? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, but I've got 56 other subjects, right? Screw them, okay? All you need is science, maths, and English. But I mean, who actually revises for English? Because you basically just wing it and get a good grade anyway. You just bullshit your way through it. Yeah. For example, oh, this blank space. It really emphasizes the cultural appropriations placed on black people during the 1930s, and you could actually link that to Of Mice and Men and Crooks's physical segregation from the other ranch workers, and he's actually physically positioned close to the animals, which suggests he's more animalistic than human-like, if you get what I mean. Anyway, moving on. Number 2, place emphasis on the real subjects. I was going to put that in inverted commas because the real term is facilitating subjects. Okay, so place emphasis on the facilitating subjects. These are English, maths, bio, chem, physics. Yeah, that's it really. And obviously add maths if you do add maths. All that kind of stuff, you know, the real subjects. English lit and English lang. Yeah, so place emphasis on these subjects. Focus primarily on these, okay? These are the important subjects. You have to do well in these. You want to be aiming for at least a 7 in these. Otherwise, you're going to end up working at Subway, earning a cool £4.36 an hour. yeah, these are some I would exclude, I would revise less. These are the non-facilitating subjects I do. So it's geography and computing actually. I used to do DT, but that was not a pleasant experience. Yeah, moving on. Efficiency. Oh dear, this video is a great meme. You want to be as efficient as possible. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, if you do physics, you'll know that efficiency equals total useful output over total input, right? Times 100 if you want a percentage. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to have the most useful result, the best results for the amount of time you put in. So basically memorize the most for the amount of hours you put in, right? Now, say this is time. No, this is amount retained. And this is hours of revision. Okay, so if we're doing like 6 hours all at once, basically your amount retained is going to go something like this, right? So it's going to stay good for a bit, then you're going to get bored, you know, then you're going to go on YouTube, and then somehow it's actually going to reverse, so you'll actually be transported back in time, basically. So inverse hours to the -1, right? And then if you do cos theta over pi r squared, you might actually find out the name of Curly's wife. Which you could obviously link to My Last Duchess, which is part of the edXL anthologies. And then that actually leads to an A star, or what is now a grade 8. So if you do that, combined with some Adderall to the power of 10, 50 milligrams, you'll actually get a good grade. It took me a while to figure that out, but once you understand it, it's actually really quite simple. And that's what I've been doing basically ever since I found that out. And seriously, I predicted six 9's. Because I showed my teacher my plan. I showed all my teachers my plan, Miss Gardner, including Miss Gardner, and they said, "Jesus Christ, that is the best revision plan I've seen in my entire life. I'm going to predict you a cool 9, but I'm sure you can do better than that. But we'll predict you a 9 just to be safe, right?" So now I'm predicted 6 9's because I just followed this revision method. Okay, it might take you a while to grasp it, it's quite complex. You might have to actually be an avid Rick and Morty viewer to fathom this, but hopefully you get the idea. Okay, so next, sleep enough. You want to make sure you're sleeping at least 5 hours a night. So 5 hours of sleep a night. So what would you have left? So 24 minus 5. Do some maths revision here. This is a really difficult thing. So 1, carry the 1. 14 minus 5, that's 7. 1 minus 0, that's 6. So you have 67 hours left in the day. That means you can be revising 67 hours per day. Now, I'm sure you're aware that y equals mx plus b over plus b minus plus root b squared add 4ac over 2bc. And from that, we can just plug in the numbers. So basically, just bring up your calculator. So 67 times by, what would that be? Okay, so that would be 2 times 325. So that you basically now have 21,775 hours in a one day. So you basically have 21,775 hours in one day. One day equals 21,775 hours. And that is plenty of time to be revising. Obviously, you want to dedicate 90% of that time to maths. So times by 0.9. So that's 19,597 hours of GCSE maths. I'm sure you might be able to move on to maybe A-level maths after that time. Possibly PhD level, but you know, I could be wrong. Everyone's ability is different. After that time, you might be a pro at factorizing. However, if you're retarded, that might be a realistic expectation. But if you're not mentally inept, then I'm sure you'll be at PhD level by this time. Okay, what's the next point? Consider, oh yeah, this is probably the most important on the entire list, so I saved the best till last, obviously. Consider Adderall, Ritalin, or even Focalin. Now you're probably wondering, what the jizz are those, right? Basically what they are is they're magic pills. They're magic pills. They all have the they all seem to have the formula C10H. Now these pills have the formula C10H15N. C10H15N. And basically these pills, this compound, single compound, basically looks a bit like this, right? This compound, it looks a bit like this. So you've got an ammeter there, you've got a voltmeter there, and then you've got a bulb here. You've got an LED, a bulb, a lamp even. And basically what this tells us is that for every 10 magic pills, you get 7 hydrogens. 7 hydrogens. Which basically makes you a god at maths. And yeah, but also you have to factor in that EK equals half mv squared. Obviously. And basically that's all there is to it. You know, they say everyone revises differently, when in reality they don't. Everyone revises the same way, and this is honestly the best method. You know, it's really quite a simple method. It's easy to incorporate into your everyday routines. You know, just wake up, do that for, what was it, 27,000 hours, go to school, get home, do it for another 27,000 hours. You'll probably be ready for your exam in no time. Okay, and then you'll be getting those grade 7s to 9s. Aim for an 8, aim for an even 8. That is a good grade to get. 7 is good. 6, there's a big gap from a 6 to a 7. 6, nah, shit. 7, that's good. Okay. yeah, I hope this video helped. Kill yourself.